Hello everyone, I am Chris. Today I want to share some thoughts with you about the Leica Centennial Retrospective exhibition I attended a couple of days ago. This exhibition is actually part of Leica's Global Centennial Anniversary series of events this year. Previously, it was already held in New York, Milan, and at the German headquarters. In the entire Asia-Pacific region, they chose to hold a grand commemorative event in Shanghai, launching the Shanghai Centennial Limited Edition Leica camera and organizing a very impressive exhibition. Regarding this exhibition, I specifically went to observe it in the past 2 days. It is held on half of the second floor of the Shanghai Postal Museum, next to the famous Suzhou River Bridge, the Jiapu Road Bridge. This place is actually very suitable for taking photos, and at the entrance there is a very eye-catching Leica logo sign. This exhibition started in late July and will last for about a month, but it's almost impossible to book through the app, as it's very popular. On one hand, Leica's brand effect and its fans are particularly numerous. On the other hand, to appeal to this market, they also invited some popular celebrities to participate in this part of the exhibition, which sparked a lot of discussion and buzz. I went to see this exhibition, and overall it was quite good. This exhibition was curated by photography critic Gu Zheng, reviewing Leica's rich 100-year history and showcased samples of classic cameras from the earliest Barnack camera to the latest M11. Those famous lenses, including the rarely seen black paint 8 elements, including the Noctilux, including the limited edition 50mm ASIF Apo, and so on. There are a bunch of things. Then, of course, they also discussed some of Leica's culture, the magazine LFI that they publish, including the blueprint prototype of the oldest Leica first-generation camera designed by Barnack, as well as the disassembly of the latest M11 parts. The other half of the exhibition is an art showcase. That photographic work during the curation, I also felt that it was actually selected. During Leica's long century of existence, countless classic works have emerged. Just the classic works from Magnum alone could line a long street. However, this exhibition did not choose works by masters like Cartier-Bresson or Marc Ribot. Instead, it selected perspectives related to the changes in China over the years. Some works by Leica, including many famous creations by Chinese artists like Wu Jialin and Liu Xiangzheng, who use Leica. Additionally, it also featured emerging young photographers like Leslie Yi and Niu Tong. At the same time, it also introduced works by celebrities like Xiao Zhan, Lin Yilun, and Zhang Yadong to create a very, very special exhibition. I can say a very special exhibition. A significant reason you can't get a reservation is because there are popular celebrities involved. So many fans actually go to check in and take up the reservation slots. Many people will complain, saying, why are these popular celebrities joining the fun? Or when they see the works of those celebrities, they are actually quite dismissive. After I finished the entire tour, I suddenly realized that Professor Gu Zheng's curatorial idea was to combine professional,
artistic, fashionable,
combining all these elements of popularity, showcasing the works of several generations of photographers and enthusiasts in a relatively small space. So this exhibition became very special. Before I went, I thought it was a niche exhibition for Leica fans, but it actually wasn't. You will also notice that Leica is not as conservative as you think. Although it has been 100 years, it has been forging ahead. To radically reform its products, it launched Leica Q, Leica SL, and then constantly innovated Leica M. Its three product lines and other related equipment are really very clear in thinking and very clear in strategy. Positioning is also very accurate. Then he sticks to his own unique tradition of image culture to insist on the innovation and creation of his image works and its products. I would say that Leica is a respectable company, although it once faced bankruptcy, then restructuring, and now it is revitalized, rejuvenate in the new digital age. The difference between it and other image manufacturers is that it has a very rich and profound historical and cultural accumulation over there, but they did not turn those things into a burden for himself. They turned these historical accumulations into rich assets. They constantly took them out to discuss, to influence the younger generation of creators, the younger generation of fans, the younger generation of users' choice of images. Every time we discuss these things about Leica, it will trigger a huge discussion. It has a lot of traffic, and then it is very suitable for discussion because many people have different views and opinions. For this new user growing up in the new digital age, they will feel that Leica is a conservative old brand. In the eyes of our old fans, Leica is deviant and feels that it constantly challenges our bottom line. So it is always in a very controversial situation. And then in this situation, under our controversy, in full view of our public, we are bold to reform its products, and it is also very steady step by step. At least for now, I see that it will not happen again in history like the M5, which will trigger a crisis. It is very stable. Of course, I have encountered a similar situation. Some fans has been scolding together very contemptuous, but once he has one day, he will suddenly find that he suddenly falls in love with Leica, and he suddenly hits his face. Then he felt that Leica was really reasonable, and I could actually understand it very well, just like I use Alpha and Phase 1 now. The problem in this case is not the product itself, but how we use it. How do we deal with some of the barriers, differences, and misunderstandings caused by it? So a very important point here, or a point I want to discuss with you today, is that Leica will always be Leica. Because Leica always needs to move forward, it needs to progress, it needs to reform, otherwise it will be abandoned by the times. In history, Hasselblad, Voigtlander, Rollei were like this. Slowly it was left behind by the times. I think Leica has seen this, so it has been working hard to catch up with the changes of this era. But it is really like all high-end devices. First of all, it is very expensive, and it is not a device that can be owned casually. So how do we use it? How do we use it to create, to show our own expression? It will greatly affect or let the public see what Leica is all about. I mean, when we have a lot of great work like Magnum and Leica together, then Magnum's work is the same as Leica's work, and when they achieve such a good historical case, we will think that Leica is really awesome, really classic. All the great works are made by Leica, and I want to make one too. This is a very normal thing. This is human nature. But slowly, with the proliferation of our current image culture, we take so many images every day. Really excellent works are actually very rare. We have a lot of choices now. We have a lot of cameras to choose from, and we don't have to choose Leica. What else does Leica mean to us when we can take great pictures with our mobile phones? So quite a few people will think that you are just showing off your wealth, and you can only afford it because it is expensive. If you look at the people who shoot Leica, what exactly did he shoot? You are talking about the lens and the product. Just talk about the hardware, talk about the indicators. What on earth have you come up with? So this Leica Centennial Retrospective Exhibition, they curate. In fact, many of our works are contemporary or modern, and these works reflect some of the views and opinions of Leica's creators in the new era. So as long as you look at it carefully, you will find that it is also a creative tool with excellent works. It also does not lag behind the development of this era. Of course, we have more choices now. We go to see the evaluation of the camera and the lens every day. A lot of devices are produced every year, but many cameras are just a flash in the pan, and new users are constantly coming in. When those manufacturers continue to work hard to attract or win over these new users, Leica will always stay there. I feel that their idea is that one day you will fall into my hands, right? One day when your aesthetic, when your financial resources, when your experience reaches that moment, you will find that Leica is already waiting for you. Leica is a very interesting brand, and it's not unreasonable that it can last for 100 years. And they're living well now, and he's living well. So everyone has their own opinion about Leica, whether you have used it or not. You will have your own opinion. I think these are all very normal. So after watching the Leica Centennial exhibition, I am very impressed that he is in the Asia Pacific region, only in China. It only did such an exhibition in Shanghai. They only released a limited edition of 100 engraved with the name of Shanghai. As a native of Shanghai, I am very honored and proud, and of course I am very happy. Even though I couldn't afford that camera, I carved a Shanghai on my M9 for the Leica's 100 years of trials and hardships, and thank Leica for choosing Shanghai for its limited release worldwide. Very much looking forward to the future Leica will have better, more exciting works and products. We always feel that it is very difficult to have a handy tool to make it an extension of your vision and ideas, a very valuable thing. And I just met Leica, which can help me to express, well, that's enough. It doesn't matter if it's M10, M11 or M3, M2. Let's not spend too much time discussing the equipment itself. And we need to think about how we can use this classic expensive camera, exquisite, delicate crafts to help us express, which is really important. These things, what I share with you today, are just some casual gossip, and there is no theme. Thank you for listening patiently. That's all for today's sharing. See you next time. Bye-bye.